Hello, everyone. This is Pastor Nathan Wood of North Dayton Baptist Church, and welcome to day 79 of the McShane Reading Plan. That's 79. And today we are in Exodus chapter 31, John chapter 10, Proverbs 7, and Galatians chapter 6. I'm going to start here on my computer screen here where I've got my scripture is on Galatians 6, so I'll start there. Brethren, if a man be overtaken in a fault, ye which are spiritual, restore such an one in the spirit of meekness, considering thyself, lest thou also be tempted. Folks, we're all subject to temptation. We're all sinful human beings. Even those of us who have gained great understanding of the Lord and His Word, we are no better than anybody else because we're all sinful humans. We need to, when we see fault or failure in our brother or sister, we need to be meek and humble about how we go about it. Obviously, the proper way is confronting one-on-one in private, then two or three, and ultimately trying not to make a public example of somebody. Just like Joseph did not want to assume that Mary had been unfaithful to him.
It's 8 o'clock.
So we need to be careful. We need to be meek in the way that we bear one another's burdens. Obviously, take care of what is in our own eye before we look at somebody else's eye. That doesn't mean that sin isn't sin, but it means that we need to be humble about how we address the sin of others. So, meekness. Moses is described to be the meekest of all men, obviously, apart from Christ himself. Moses is on the mountain of God, Mount Sinai, and he is receiving the law. Again, we have careful instructions regarding the making of the tabernacle, keeping of the Sabbath, and the sign thereof. First off, I want to point out that it says, "See, I have called by name Bezalel, the son of Uri," and also it says the Aholiab, the son of Ahisamach, of the tribe of Dan. So, what are these two people called for? These two are workmen, or craftsmen, to build the furnishings of the tabernacle. So it says that God has specifically called by name, filled them with the Spirit of God in all knowledge and understanding for their workmanship. What does that mean? It means that God does not just gift men and women with gifts of preaching or teaching or interpreting the word. He gifts people. We see in church, people who are gifted in music as well. But that's not even the only thing that he gifts people in. He gifts people in all sorts of ways. Specifically here, craftsmanship, workmanship, carpentry, being a tailor or a seamstress, working with your hands, artistry. It doesn't matter what you could be really good at whatever industry you're in, and God may have specifically gifted you in that area. Every good gift comes from God. So if you're not up in front of people talking or singing, that doesn't mean that you are any less in any sense. No, you could be the greatest gifted person in the entire kingdom, and it has nothing to do with the praise of men. God knows what He's gifted you with. Serve Him with it, and He sees. And our place in the kingdom to come is yet to be determined. I don't want to encourage comparing people with great people of old, but God does not see people like Billy Graham or Charles Spurgeon or D.L. Moody or Ravi Zacharias in the same in the same way that we do. He's no respecter of persons. Um, Somebody that nobody has ever heard of may be higher in the kingdom than they are in the last day, because they have been faithful to serve God with the gifts that He has given them. That's something to be in mind of. Also, look, verse 18. He gave to Moses the tables of the testimony. It says, written with the finger of God. And this same finger of God that has written the law, or this part of the law, on the tables of stone, the Ten Commandments, this same finger belongs to the one who in John calls himself the door and the good shepherd. See, he said the law is what it is. He gave it to us and said, hey, here's the stipulation. Here's what you have to live up to. And we can't live up to it. So he himself fulfills the law, bears our punishment according to the prescription of the law. So he who wrote the law becomes our way, becomes our door, becomes our good shepherd. The way into the kingdom, the way into heaven, and the way and our guide as well. What a marvelous thing. We love you, praying for you. Remember our young people today, especially in the fact that they can't have graduation or anything to do with it. Remember them. Praying that you know the Lord. We love you. Have a good evening.